Hello, Chair, Vice Chair, and the rest of the Planning Commission, as well as any public guests viewing this presentation. This is Daniel Hauk, Associate Planner with City of Oxnard Planning, and I will be presenting on the Fore Property Development Agreement Amendment, PZ 24-670-01. This is the third development agreement. The proposed development agreement amendment will allow the removal of Section 5, which mandated a maintenance agreement with the city of Oxnard for a service road the city was acquiring from Caltrans that the property would be using to service the proposed residential apartment project on the parcel. As part of this request, there is no physical development. If there any future development is proposed, it would be required to comply, of course, with the 2030 general plan, the River Park specific plan, and all other applicable development standards. And any future proposal would also be subject to CEQA. The site is located at 2700 and 2750 North Ventura Road. This project site is just north of 101 on the right-hand side of Ventura Road, and it's at the end of Town Center Drive, which is across from the collection. This property is part of the River Park specific plan area. On the bottom left, you can see a picture of the residential project that is being developed that this development agreement is tied to. And on the right, we have its overall location in the River Park specific plan. As you can see at that bottom left corner of the outlined area. We have a table here of the zoning in the area. Um, Everything surrounding it is in the River Park specific plan, with the exception of the river which borders the specific plan area. Everything is commercial regional, with the exception of Wagon Wheel to the south, which is at the on the other side of 101. And on the property, it does have the Fore apartment complex, which is under construction, as I showed on the previous slide. Just for the existing land use, even though the zonings are the same, there is a senior living center to the east. And to the north, there is the tower with all the offices in it. Um, and then here we have the maps of the zoning, just to illustrate what was on the previous slide, that the general plan zoning is commercial regional, while the zoning designation is residential very high, which was added through the specific plan amendment, which I will detail lightly in the coming slides. Or the slide. So on April 5th, 2022, City Council approved the amendment to this River Park specific plan, which allowed the new high density land use within 3 districts, B, C, and D, in the River Park specific plan. This one being District B. The very high designation allows 30 to 80 units per acre. It was outlined to have 333 units as part of that, and the submitted development proposal, which is separate from this project that we're reviewing today, but that was for 333 units exactly. Further background, this is more focused on the project itself that was approved on the parcel. So on May 23rd, 2022, the director of community development approved the 333 unit apartment building. That decision was appealed, and on July 21st of the same year, Planning Commission upheld the director's approval. On July 18th of 2022, a minor modification of 2023, a minor modification was approved by staff, um, which still maintained the 333 units in the proposed building, and the building overall was roughly the same exact shape. The only the main difference was that it was a compressed footprint, and this is due to a fall through with Caltrans, as there was an access road um, owned by Caltrans that was going to be acquired by the city of Oxnard. And then the project was going to utilize that road as the southern access road for the property. However, the state level of Caltrans, after the city, the property developer, and the local entity of Caltrans worked together for a while on this, the state level of Caltrans opted not to approve of the conveyance of the road. This necessitated an alternative. So, to provide a service road themselves, this led to the minor modification, which the compressed footprint allowed the road to fit on the property. And the compression resulted in a loss of 25 bedrooms, same number of units still. And it also increased the height of um, the garage, the which is wrapped that the building is wrapped around. Um, it, it also provided the road for the fire department and environmental resources. Um, Here we have the Fore River Park project. On the left is what was approved prior. As you can see, there on the south end, there is a road off the property line. That was the access road that was supposed to be acquired from Caltrans. However, on the right, we have a site plan from the modification plans, and you can see the footprint is a little compressed. The garage specifically is a bit smaller in length, and there is that tighter road now that is along the southern portion, directly adjacent to the Caltrans road. So, in regards to the development agreement portion of this parcel, on November 18th, 2008, the City Council adopted Ordinance number 2787, approving PZ 08-67003, which was a development agreement number A-7113 between the owners of the project site and the City of Oxnard. And this was due to River Park having its own development agreement. However, that excluded this property, so this property had to create their own development agreement with the city. That development agreement has been amended on two previous occasions, and that was on November 9th, 2010, and September 6th, 2022. So this that we're processing now is the third development agreement. There is only one proposed change, which is the removal of Section 5. This section is no longer relevant. What it did was mandated a maintenance agreement between the city of Oxnard and the property owner, and that was for the service road the city was going to acquire from Caltrans. Obviously, as I detailed previously, that fell through, and they supplied their own access road. So, to clean up the agreement, this section is being deleted. It's consistency with the general plan. We staff did find this amendment to be consistent, and we found that through these three policies that all have to do with essentially supplying infrastructure and adequate emergency access. Because they addressed the service road issue, um, there really is no issues stemming from removing this section about the maintenance agreement, as adequate access is going to be supplied, and there is no impacts on other existing infrastructure. Environmentally, we did put this up against CEQA, and what we found is that we could exempt it through section 1561B3 and section 15378B5. Those pertain to a project not having a significant impact on the environment because it doesn't constitute a project. Uh, as this is just removing a section from a development agreement and it doesn't propose any development, we therefore determined it did not constitute a project and could be exempted under those sections. Uh, we, the staff, recommend that the Planning Commission accept the notice of exemption, which was one of the attachments. This was publicly noticed. The hearing, we provided a newspaper advertisement as well as an on-site sign posting, and we did mail to property owners within 300 feet a notice as well. We did not receive any comments. The recommendation is that the Planning Commission find the project exempt from environmental review pursuant to CEQA guidelines, section 15061B3 and section 15378B5, and adopt resolution 2024XX recommending City Council approval of planning and zoning permit number 24-670-01. Third amendment to development agreement number A-7113 for the Fore property, subject to certain findings. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.